Hey everyone, welcome back to Tailfin's AI Executive Briefing. I'm Maddie, and as always, I'm here with Eric.
Hello there, Maddie. It's great to be back. And if you thought last week was a busy one, we've got a lot to cover in the next 10 minutes or so. Starting with the big tech news this week. After last week's 9-figure salary offers for the best AI rock stars out there in Silicon Valley, Meta has now launched their new super intelligence labs. And as we know, they've poached some of OpenAI's top talent. Mark Zuckerberg's not exactly being subtle about wanting to win the AGI race, and he stated that Meta will be investing hundreds of billions of dollars in the next few years to back up that ambition.
And what do you make of Zuck's objective of developing superintelligence systems to complete tasks as well as, or better than, human beings?
Well, I'm not entirely sure what that looks like, but it sounds like a big ambition. I do know, though, that he must have a clear vision of what that looks like in his own head. Hopefully it's not as disconnected as the metaverse turned out to be for most people, and it's going to be a positive thing for all of society.
You've got to hope so. Sam Altman at OpenAI is definitely not taking all the talent poaching lying down. He's already responded with a compensation review for his remaining team, and did you see that little dig at Meta's future culture being a risky place to be? I mean, it's like name-calling in the playground, but with billion-dollar budgets and, the fate of humanity at stake.
It's slightly disconcerting that we have 3 people in ChatGPT's Sam Altman, everyone's Facebook friend Mark Zuckerberg, and our Grocket man Elon Musk holding the future direction of AI in their hands, but seemingly being completely unable to work together for the common good of the world.
It is rather, isn't it? I'm not one for overregulation in business, but this whole AI sector is really chaotic.
And then there's the whole advertising and ChatGPT thing. Altman's hinting that ads might be coming, which honestly I get it. Running these models cost billions. But it does make you wonder, are we just building the next ad platform? Or is this really about superintelligence?
That's the big question, right? Both Meta and OpenAI are talking about investing hundreds of billions into superintelligence. But do we actually know what we're building here? Or is it just like progress for progress's sake? Sometimes I feel like we're all just along for the ride, hoping someone's got a map.
And then, of course, our Musk moment of the week is a new release of xAI's Grok. It's now letting users build their own games, opening up the no-code landscape even further. Given his increasingly messy divorce from his old friend Donald J. Trump, it's only a matter of time until the war on the presidency game goes viral on X.
If we rewound 12 months, not sure we'd have predicted the world's most powerful man and the world's richest man having a prolonged and increasingly bitter fight through their respective social channels. While Facebook and OpenAI bickered over their AI rock stars, sort of sums up how unpredictable this whole AI sector is right now.
That's a perfect segue, Maddie, because the regulatory side is heating up too. We're seeing major jurisdictions, like the EU, the US, even China, rolling out new AI policies. The idea is to balance innovation with safety. But honestly, it's a bit of a patchwork right now.
Yeah, and the stakes are so high. If you don't have international standards, you end up with loopholes everywhere. Like one country's responsible AI is another's move fast and break things. We need some kind of global alignment, or at least a way to keep the worst actors in check.
Exactly, and it's not just about governments. Tech companies have to step up too. I mean, we've talked before about the copyright mess with AI training data. If you don't have transparency and accountability, you're just asking for trouble. There's got to be a way for policymakers and companies to actually work together, not just point fingers.
Totally. I think one actionable step is just more transparency. Like, show your work, right? If you're building these massive models, let's see the data sources, the safety checks, the whole pipeline, and maybe, actually listen to the people who are going to be affected by this stuff, not just the engineers in the room.
Yeah, and I'd add, we need some kind of international watchdog, or at least a steering committee of some sort. Not to slow things down, but to make sure we're not sleepwalking into a mess. Otherwise, we'll be back here in a year, talking about the latest AI disaster and wondering how we got there. Right now, I'm keeping a close eye on a couple of dormant volcanoes out there, and if any of the major players start to move into one, I'll be sure to ring those alarm bells nice and loud.
Speaking of disruption, let's talk about jobs. The UK's seen a 33% drop in entry-level roles since ChatGPT launched less than 3 years ago. That's a headline-grabbing number. I mean, it's just one job board's data, but still. Graduate jobs, apprenticeships, internships, all down. It's not just hype anymore, it's real.
Yeah, and it's not just the UK. We're seeing this everywhere. I keep thinking there must have been similar panic when the internet took off in the 90s. Like, are we all going to lose our jobs to this new digital thing? But this feels much faster and a lot closer to home.
For sure. And now, with companies like Cloudflare blocking AI crawlers by default and launching micropayment marketplaces, it's like the open web is closing up shop. On one hand, it protects content creators, but on the other, it's a huge shift from the last 30 years of everything's free, just take it.
Yeah, it's a real tension. If you're a publisher, you finally get some control back and potentially some revenue from the micropayment marketplace that Cloudflare has set up to charge the bots for access. But if you're a user or even an AI developer, it's suddenly a lot harder to access information. There's a visible change in the old dynamic of Google accessing your content in return for traffic. These AI models access way more sites, but synthesize the data into an answer which doesn't point traffic back to you at anything like the same levels. It's increasingly hurting the content businesses out there. Another question off the back of all the job impacts from AI is, are companies responsible for helping workers retrain? Or is it just, good luck, hope you land on your feet?
I mean, I want to say yes, companies should help, but in reality, most are just trying to hit their numbers. Maybe we need a new social contract, like if you're automating jobs, you have to invest in retraining. Otherwise, we're just creating a bigger gap between the people who can adapt and the people who get left behind.
Yeah, and as we talked about in a previous episode, the pace of change is only accelerating. If 2025 is the year of the AI trial, 2026 could be the year of the layoff. It's not just a headline anymore, it's actual people, actual jobs, and actual lives being impacted here.
Let's shift gears a bit. AI is not just disrupting jobs, it's shaking up creativity too. Did you see the Velvet Sundown story? Turns out they're an AI-generated band with 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. The music industry is not happy, to put it mildly.
Yeah, and it's not just about the music itself. It's the way AI is trained, using unauthorized tracks, sometimes without the original artists even knowing. It's like, are we just stealing from the shoulders of giants to scramble an Oasis album title as their reunion tour kicks off?
If you were one of the lucky ones that managed to get tickets, fingers crossed you got one of the early dates, just in case.
Good point. The positives of AI music is that it opens up creativity to the non-musical amongst us. But does it still count as music if it's all just algorithms rather than natural rhythms?
It's a tough one. I mean, as someone who's built AI tools, I get the excitement. But if you're a musician, it must feel like the rug's being pulled out from under you. And the backlash is only going to get louder as these AI bands get more popular. Ultimately, does your average Spotify customer care whether it's a band they've never heard of or a band that never existed? Consumers probably hold the power with this one. Vote with your feet if you don't want to listen to them and skip right over.
Finishing the news roundup this week is a genuinely heartwarming story. The American couple, after 18 years of failed IVF treatment, finally conceived thanks to AI-powered sperm discovery. The STAR method found 3 hidden sperm that doctors had missed. That's the kind of breakthrough that makes all the hype feel worth it, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's easy to get caught up in the drama and the disruption, but then you see AI literally changing lives, helping people start a family when all seemed lost. Wonder what they'll name the little one when they arrive. Gotta reckon it's a name with the letters AI in it somewhere.
All right, let's wrap up with our 4 featured tools this week. First up is Neura. It lets you organize your ideas and thoughts by voice, then turns them into structured plans, reports, or even scripts. I've actually tried it, and it's surprisingly good at making sense of my rambling notes. Saves you a whole load of time, and the output is usable first time out. There's a free plan, and the paid plan is only $8 a month, so check that out at neura-app.com.
Yeah, and then there's NeoCal, which basically lets you talk to your Google Calendar. You can manage your diary, schedule meetings, and it even handles time zones for you. I wish I'd had this when I was running my last company. Would have saved me so many headaches. It's also free to use right now, and it's at neocal.ai.
Next is Otto, which automates all those manual searches with a suite of templated AI agents. So if you're tired of doing repetitive research, Otto can handle company research, list enrichment, even web scraping. It's like having a team of interns, but, without the coffee runs and TikTok videos. Best thing about Otto is the suite of templates you can jump right in and use straight off. Saves a whole load of time. There's a free plan, which is good news as the paid plans start at $99 a month. Worth a look at autogrid.ai.
And finally, InterviewBee. This one's a bit controversial. It's a live AI assistant that helps you answer interview questions in real time. It gives you talking points, even during actual interviews. I mean, is that ethical? I'm not sure, but it's definitely changing the whole recruitment process. It only shows up on your screen as well as it's hosted locally, even if you are screen sharing, so you really can ace that interview when you are using it.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one. On the one hand, it levels the playing field for people who get nervous or freeze up. On the other, it kind of blurs the line between genuine skill and, well, just having a really good AI whispering in your ear. I suppose it's another example of how AI is forcing us to rethink what's fair and what's not. The whole recruitment and job hunting sector is being turned upside down by AI, from CV generation and AI-powered applications at scale through to AI recruiter interviewers.
Totally. It's something that deserves a podcast all of its own. The tech tools are really impressive for both sides of the job market. And as those roles keep being impacted, this is only going to get more prevalent in use as the market keeps getting tougher. And that's probably a good note to end on. AI is not slowing down, and neither are we. Thanks for joining us for another week of Tailfin's AI Executive Briefing. Eric, always a pleasure.
Likewise, Maddie. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with more stories, more tools, and probably a few more existential questions. Take care.
See you next time, everyone.